On March 27, 2009, 8-year-old Sandra Cantu arrived to her California home at around 2:45 p.m. from school. After dropping off her bag at her house, she ran back outside to go knock on the trailer park doors to see who of the kids wanted to play with her. At around dinner time, when she was still not home, her mom began calling all the neighbors in the trailer park to begin asking if Sandra was with them, and if so, could they ask her to go home. After calling everyone and no one knew where Sandra was, she went outside and walked around the trailer park to search for her daughter. After 2 hours went by and she still couldn't find her, by 7:30 she proceeded to call 911 and report her daughter missing. 11 days later, Sandra's body was found in the lake nearby. What happened after Sandra went out to play that afternoon? Sandra lived with her mother Maria as well as her grandparents. Her parents had been divorced prior and were currently having a custody battle. Sandra also had an older sister who wasn't much older than her. Her grandpa had installed security cameras at their trailer. The security camera caught the moment that Sandra was coming back to her house at around 4 p.m., but on her way to the trailer, suddenly something caught her attention, making her turn to a different direction. But soon she gets out of the camera frame and we no longer know where she went. The first suspect was Sandra's dad, but he had an alibi and was cleared. After talking to all the neighbors in the trailer park, police began taking action. They called the FBI in, and meanwhile they brought in helicopters to scan through the air. They brought in dogs to search around the area. They also closed down all the roads surrounding the area. Hundreds of people came to help search for Sandra. Everyone wanted to help. Wealthy people began sending in thousands of dollars to be used as a reward for information regarding Sandra. Sandra's neighbor later reported her suitcase missing, as she said she had left it outside and it had been stolen. The next suspect that the police had was a known pedophile in the trailer park who had actually previously sexually assaulted Sandra, but he was also cleared. A few days after Sandra went missing, someone called in to report that they had found a purple Hello Kitty shirt in the garbage. This immediately alarmed police, as this was what Sandra was last seen in according to the description they had put out. After bringing the shirt in, police showed it to Sandra's mom, but after looking at it, she confirmed that it did not belong to Sandra. It was similar but not the exact one. Plus, it was in the wrong size. After days had gone by, police and family decided to hold a vigil for Sandra. This vigil was later interrupted by a woman who came screaming, saying that she had found something. Police ran to her mailbox where they found a note that had the location of a nearby lake, and that according to this note, Sandra's body was in a suitcase that was thrown into this lake. After taking this note in, experts believed that the note was suspicious. It had several misspellings, and by the way the note was written, they believed that someone purposely attempted to change their handwriting as well as their vocabulary. And because of this, it was most likely that the note was fake. It was a means of attention. The only strange thing is that if the note was meant for attention, why not leave your name? This immediately shifted police attention to the woman that had found the note, and police remembered the scene that she had made at the vigil. Also, why would the killer send a note to this random woman as opposed to the family of Sandra? Police began getting suspicious about this woman and decided to bring her in for questioning. Meanwhile, they searched her car. In her car, they found a sticky note that had been written on but then scribbled out. They took this note to experts who somehow managed to see what was under the scribbles, and it was the location that the note stated Sandra's body was at, as if the woman had been practicing what to put on the note. After this, they decided to search her house. During this search, they found that the woman had a notebook under her bed, and the paper from the note came from this notebook. Not only that, but the police connected the dots and realized that this same woman was the neighbor that had previously reported a suitcase missing. So who was this woman? This woman was 28-year-old Melissa Huckabee. She was a Sunday school teacher and had a 5-year-old daughter. Once police realized that this could be more serious than they thought, they decided to send in teams of divers into the lake to search for this suitcase that, according to the note, Sandra's body was in. Meanwhile, the police searched Melissa's classroom, which according to her, she said she was redecorating at the time of Sandra's disappearance. During this search, they found a rolling pin that had a red substance on the handle. They decided to take this to be tested. Meanwhile, the police got the phone call they were dreading. The divers had found the suitcase. Immediately, police ran to the lake where they had told everyone not to touch anything. They took the suitcase in, and even though they refused to open it, the smell and the weight, it was pretty obvious the police knew what was inside. 11 days after going missing, on April 6, 2009, Sandra's lifeless body was found inside that suitcase. The suitcase had been secured by a thin rope that was later found out to belong to the blind strings from Melissa's classroom. Sandra had been strangled, most likely with a rope. She had also been raped with a foreign object that was later confirmed to have been the rolling pin found in Melissa's classroom. The blood on the handle was confirmed to belong to Sandra. The autopsy also revealed that Sandra had a very high amount of drugs in her system. And according to doctors, because of the high amount of drugs, it is believed that Sandra was not conscious for the rape or the murder. Police went straight over to Melissa's house to arrest her, but once they got there, they found out that Melissa was in the hospital as she had attempted to end her life by swallowing blades. Luckily, she survived, but the police could not interrogate her as she wasn't well. During this time, the police got a call from a man that had been a witness himself. He said he was out for a walk when he came across a car that was parked on the side of the road. He saw that the passenger door was wide open. Immediately, a woman with dark hair came out of the woods and told him she had to use the bathroom and that everything was fine. As it turns out, this woman was coming out of the woods where the lake that Sandra's body was found in was at. They brought him in and asked him to describe the woman as well as the car. Immediately, his description was the same as Melissa in her car. After Melissa got out of the hospital, police went and arrested her for the murder of Sandra Cantu. Eventually, Melissa broke down and confessed. She said that she was playing hide and seek with her daughter and Sandra. She said that Sandra must have hidden inside the suitcase and that she eventually forgot that they were playing and left to her classroom. She found the suitcase and Sandra was inside, but she wasn't breathing. She panicked and threw the suitcase in the lake. Melissa was really invested in her story, but police knew she was lying. The autopsy showed that Sandra had been strangled, and not only that, but she had also been sexually assaulted. Her blood was also found at Melissa's class. Melissa was found guilty and was originally going to be sentenced to the death penalty, but as she pleaded guilty, she was later sentenced to life in prison. As for her 5-year-old daughter, she was sent to live with her father for the time being. Melissa is currently serving her time at the San Joaquin County Jail located in California. Till this day, she has never given a proper answer as to why she did what she did.